Good morning. So I know some of you had some questions on the performance task, so I'm going to go over it with you. So there's 3 parts. There's part A, B, C, and part D. Okay, make sure you're reading each part carefully so you understand what it's asking. Okay, so here you have a weather report. A weather service records the temperature in degrees Fahrenheit each day and publishes the report in the newspaper at the end of the week. The graphic below shows a report from January. Okay, so this is the temperature from Sunday through Saturday. If you notice, each day it has a high and a low temperature. Okay, but if you look at the chart carefully, we need to find the low temperature for Tuesday, okay, the high temperature for Thursday, and then the low temperature for Friday. Okay, so it's going to be for part A. It says David read the paper while eating breakfast and some of the information was smudged. Use the information below to find all of the missing high and low temperatures during the week. Okay, so let's look at the first one. On Tuesday, the low temperature was 3 degrees colder than Monday. This means if it's colder, it's going to be a negative, okay? So on this one, let's go ahead and look at our chart on Tuesday, okay? The temperature was 3 degrees colder than Monday. So if you notice on Monday, the low is -2. So that means we're going to have to do -2, okay, plus -3 to get our temperature. Okay, so we'll do -2 plus -3, which is -5. Okay, so you go to the chart on Tuesday, and then on the low temperature, you'll put -5. Okay, let's look at the second point. So on Thursday, the high temperature was 5 degrees warmer than the low temperature. So the high temperature was 5 degrees warmer, so that's going to be a positive, okay? So that means we're going to have to put -1 plus 5, okay, to get our temperature for Thursday. Okay, so -1 plus 5 is 4. So that means the high on Thursday is 4 degrees, and you can go ahead and put the 4 there. The next point, on Friday, the low temperature was 11 degrees higher than the low temperature on Saturday, okay? So higher is going to be a plus, okay, higher than the low on Saturday. So if you go to Saturday, the low is -8, so that means we need to do -8 plus 11 degrees. -8 plus 11 is 3. So you go to Friday and you're going to put in 3 degrees for the low temperature. Okay, so yeah, it's important that you do fill in the numbers here, because when we go to part B, you have to graph each of the high and low temperatures on a number line, okay? What is the difference in the highest and lowest temperature? So make sure you are using this to show your work to put your final answers, okay? So here you could just put the temperature for Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, okay? And circle your final answer. Remember, we're talking about degrees Fahrenheit, so you can include degrees Fahrenheit. For this part, I would suggest that you do a number line. You can do either a vertical, okay, number line. Remember that after 0, you have your positive integers, and then below 0 are your negative integers, okay? Or feel free, if you want to use the horizontal number line, you can, okay? I think it's better we use this type of number line because we're talking about temperature. Okay, so let's look at our chart. For example, let's do Monday. If you go back here, Monday has a high of 7 degrees and a low of -2, okay? So you make sure you are putting the day, okay? Show me where 0 is at. So a high of 7 degrees and a low of -2. It's asking to find the difference. So one way you can do it here, you can add all the units in between here, okay? Or you would just do 7 minus -2, but you do the additive inverse. So the minus becomes plus and the negative becomes positive. Okay, well, what is 7 plus 2? Here it's 9, okay? So the difference here is 9 degrees. Okay, so you're going to do the same thing for all the days. For example, again, on Tuesday, you're going to look at your high, which is 8 degrees, and your low is -5 degrees. So you're going to plot 8 on your number line, okay, and then -5. You have to find the difference here. So you do 8 minus -5, do the additive inverse, which is 8 plus 5. So the difference here is 13. Okay, so do that for the other days. Again, be careful, especially when you're subtracting negative numbers. Okay, so let's look at part C. Part C is saying find the average high and low temperature for the week. So remember, when you find the average, you have to add up all your numbers, okay, for the high. There's 7 days here, so once you add, you need to divide by 7, okay? So add all your high numbers here and then divide by 7. Okay, and this, again, the symbol means approximately. And then you're going to do the same thing for the low. You're going to write down all your low temperatures, add them, and then divide by 7. Be careful with that part. You might want to add all your negative numbers first, okay? And then add your positives. Okay, and then after that, you're going to divide by 7. Here you will get a negative. Negative divided by a positive is a negative. Okay, so you can put it as approximately and then round it to a whole number. Let's look at part D. Because of the cold temperatures, David decides to make scarves to sell at a craft. It costs him $5 to make each scarf, and he sells them for $12 each. Okay, so on this part, we have to find out how much he profits for each scarf. Okay, so here you do 12 minus 5. That means he profits $7 on each scarf. Okay, but then it's asking, he sells 28 scarves at the craft fair. What is David's total profit? So we know that he made 28 scarves, so we need to do 28 times 7 to get the total profit, okay? So that's all you're doing for that part. I hope this helps. I did extend the deadline for your performance task, okay? If you have any other questions, please let me know. Okay, thank you.